Hello, this is Nancy Beckwith here at the MNL. We are doing touchdowns and touch-ups tonight. So our shirts are supposed to be our favorite sports team. We're wearing t-shirts tonight, and so it's a little bit more casual, but I wanted to come to you and record this video for all of our new consultants because this is some really important information, some basic information that you need. So we're going to be talking about the weekly accomplishment sheet and the weekly plan sheet. And those are two important pieces of paper that you need to know how to fill it out, you need to know where to store it, and the good news is that yes, it is online. So I'm going to share with you how to fill it out, why you need it, and where to find it on InTouch. So to start out, we are going to start with, not that one is more important than the other, but we're going to start out with our weekly accomplishment sheet, and it looks like this. And you can find this document on InTouch when you go to Business Tools, and their drop-down menu will come up, and it is the very last thing at the end of that column. It says Weekly Accomplishments. So you'll go down to the bottom and you'll click there. This is a printable one. There's directions on how to fill it out there, so it's kind of self-explanatory, but I'm going to go through it in detail tonight. And then, you can also fill it out online right there, and the computer will save it for you with your year-to-date totals and everything. But this is a very important piece of paper or document to fill out because it is your record of what you are actually selling. So the company doesn't know how much you sell, they only know how much you're ordering. So they're assuming that you're selling what you're ordering, or you're ordering so that you have it, we order big to sell big. We don't sell big to order big in Mary Kay. So we order and we have some things on hand and then we sell that. So the only record of what we actually sell is what we record here each week. So you, at the end of the year, should have 52 sheets of paper. I'm old school, so I like to keep the paper and I put it in a file folder, and it just says, weekly accomplishment sheets. At the end of the year, I know I'll have 52 of them. If for some reason one week I go on vacation, or I just have a yucky week and I don't sell anything, I just write no sales and put the date and I file it. So at the end of the year, when I'm looking through, if I only had 48, I'm not racking my brain trying to say, well, wait, did I sell anything? What did I do that week? And trying to think back, months ago to figure that out. So that's the importance of that. You can do the same thing online by just submitting it with 0 on it, and it will show up that you submitted your sheet, but you didn't have any sales for that week. So I'm going to give you a copy of this. You all. Okay. And so the weekly accomplishment sheet, we're going to kind of fill this out together. So if you're at home and you want to kind of practice this, you can pull it up and look on InTouch and follow along as we go. The really neat thing is that the computer coincides exactly with this piece of paper. So when you get on, the first thing says Independent Beauty Consultant name and number. That is not your phone number. That is your Mary Kay consultant number. So you'll put your name and then you'll put your consultant number. Mine is Y19258. And so you put that down. And then your telephone number is next. And then your independent sales director name. That's me, Nancy Beckwith. Yay! And then the week ending date. So Mary Kay's week has always been like God's week, Sunday through Saturday midnight. So whatever the date is on Saturday, so this past week it was the 19th, right? Okay, how do you think about that? All right, so the 19th. So you would put 10/19/19 for the week ending date. And then it says page blank of blank. So if you're a super seller, you might need more than one sheet a week. And you might have 2 pages or 3 pages, especially during the holiday months, open houses, Black Friday and such. So, okay. Then the next part says, I'm going to get a little closer so you can see, it has date and time. And then it says hostess's name. And then you have these columns. So time invested, let's see here, time invested, number of orders, including the hostess, number of guests, including the hostess, number of orders, number of bookings, number of skincare sets sold. And then there's this like, you see those dark lines there? So this section from here to here is how you sold the product. So there's several different ways. You could have done a facial or a party. You could have done, gotten a miscellaneous reorder from someone, an on-the-go appointment. Maybe you saw someone out and about and they said, oh, I need this, an online or personal website order, or maybe you did like a product display show or open house, something like that, a show or collection, and all of those ways are listed in that one section. Online, that's a drop-down menu. So it says sales and you click on it, and then all of these ways pop up and you click which one it was that you sold the product. Now don't get hung up on was it an on-the-go or was it a preferred customer or miscellaneous sale? It doesn't really matter which one you put it in as long as you're recording your sales. Okay, the reason that they differentiate is because I personally want to know, as your sales director, when you submit these, if you're having a $300 week every week, but you're never doing a party, I can tell you for sure that if you add a party to that, you're going to have a $500, $600 week. And so that helps. It helps you. It helps me to work together and figure out how to increase your sales or where your sales are coming from. Also, if you notice that all of your sales are in the miscellaneous or reorder section, that you're not really truly working and getting new business. You're just depending upon reorders. So right. That should be a wake-up call for you too, that maybe you need to do some new faces. Also, the reason why I think this is really important, when you're filling out the name of the hostess in this section, you do not have to list all of the guests that were at her party. So if you do a party with Susie Q and Susie has 3 people plus her, then you would put day and time 10/18, which was Friday. You'd put Susie Q, and then time invested 2 hours. Number of guests you'd put 4 because she had 3 guests plus Susie Q. And then the number of orders, let's say 3 people ordered, you'd put 3 there. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Number of bookings, if 2 people booked a follow-up, then you'd put 2 there. And then you would put number of skincare sets. Now that column is really important because you want to track the number of skincare sets that you're selling. Your skincare customers are going to be your better customers. They're going to be your better reorders. I would much rather sell a miracle set than a mascara, right? I mean, we all would. It's a $110 sale versus a $15 or $18 sale. So that's, if you can track the number of skincare customers that you have, your business will be stronger. So that's something to kind of focus on to see how many skincare sets that you're selling. And the skincare sets include the Time-Wise Miracle Set, the Microdermabrasion, the Clear Proof, the men's skincare set, the Time-Wise Repair, the Naturally, the Botanicals, all of those, any of those sets are included in that. So then you do their sales. You do not include the tax in the amount of the sales. So if Susie Q's party was $300, you put $300 in the line underneath the skincare class. So right there, you'd put $300. The tax goes over here in its own little separate column that says sales tax. And the reason we don't include it in the sales is because we pay the tax on the product up front when we buy our product from the company. When we sell it to our customer, we charge them the tax, so we break even with that. So we can't claim it as a profit. So it's not a profit, we just break even, so you write it in that separate column. So now, what if Susie Q was such a great hostess that I gave her a lip gloss for free? The next column says, hostess gifts, gifts with purchased at cost section 2. So section 2 is going to be something like a sample, or we have minis, the little deluxe minis on section 2, like the little mini oil-free eye makeup remover, the little lip gloss set makes a great gift, the little mini satin hands, there's little mini mascaras, there's mini replenishing serum C, little mini microdermabrasion. There's lots of different minis that you can get, and they usually range from $2 to $5 for one of those minis. So if I gave her something like that, I would write it the amount that I paid in that section 2 hostess gifts at given away at cost. The next column says product given away at retail section 1. That's where I would put the lip gloss. If I gave her lip gloss just for coming, then I'm going to put that $15 right there where it says product given away section 1 retail. And so section 2 is samples, deluxe minis. Section 1 is going to be product that you give off your shelf. A mascara, a hand cream, an eyeshadow, something that you've given away. And then the last column says non-recovered sales tax. So that's your tax on the product that you just gave to her. I'm not going to gift Susie Q a lip gloss and then say, oh, you owe me $1.50 because that's tax. Nobody does that. That's cheesy. So we can claim it, though, on our taxes as non-recovered tax. So at the end of the week, you add up your sales for each column, and you put the total down here, and there's even a little square that tells you what your 40% profit is for that week. And then there's a place for you to list your goals for the next week and kind of recap your week. Online, all of those are different pages. So this is the first page, and then you can click to those different sections. There's even a section online. It's actually the back of this sheet, but I didn't print it for tonight. But there is a back that says who all you interviewed during the week, what they said, and if you have any questions about booking or coaching or selling or interviewing, that you could ask your director. And when you fill out that sheet and submit it, it comes to me and I can see it. And that way you and I can work on it together. Do you have any questions about the weekly accomplishment sheet? Like I said, I just fill it out, put it in a file folder, and then I have that at the end of the year. But I also do it online as well. And if you do it online, it will give you a year-to-date total for you. Okay, so the next piece of information that I want to go over with you more quickly is the weekly plan sheet. Okay, so here we go for everyone. Okay, so this is the weekly plan sheet. This is what it looks like. This is a blank weekly plan sheet that you can also print off the same section on InTouch that you get the weekly accomplishment sheet. So this is just a blank sheet, Sunday through Saturday, just like God's week, and you can take this and break it down. So the first thing you need to do is keep your priorities in order. So God first, family second, career third, right? Mm-hmm. So put all of your church activities, your devotion time, commitments at church on your plan sheet first. Then you're going to put your family activities on there. So if you have Sunday dinner with your Sunday lunch every week with your family, I know a lot of people do that, or if Friday night's your date night with your husband or whatever, you put that on there. And then you put your job on there. So when I was teaching school, I took a black marker because black was doom and gloom. And I started at 7 a.m. I was a teacher, so I blocked off 7 to 4, and I just made a big box and I wrote J-O-B in the middle. Because I knew that during the hours of 7 to 4, I could not work Mary Kay. That was time devoted and committed for education and for teaching and being at school, and so I couldn't do Mary Kay. Now, that didn't mean I couldn't walk down the hall and somebody say, hey, can you bring me my mascara tomorrow? And I'd say, yeah, sure, and I'd go home and put it in my bag and take it to work the next day. But I was not like booking parties, coaching appointments, holding parties during that time block. So you put your job on there. Now, if you work a part-time job somewhere, or you have hours that change each week, or you have one day off each week, but it's not always the same day, then you can, that's the beauty of this, is that you can plan it each week and because it'll change. And that's okay as long as you're ahead of it in your planning. So you'll obviously know what day you have off, so. And then you can plug in times where you want to work your Mary Kay. So most Mary Kay appointments, if you're doing a facial or party, how long does it last? Elizabeth? Hour and a half, 2 hours, right? If you, depending on what you do. Some can last longer, some can be shorter. So, if I just say take 2 hours, block 2 hours for an appointment. And so if you're going to do your weekly meeting, our weekly meeting is Monday night from 6 to 7:30. So that's an hour and a half. So we would just put like a little square around it and put MNL for our Monday Night Live. Then you're going to put, if you have a party on Thursday night at 7 o'clock at your house, you're going to put, MK party from 7 to 9 and just kind of block it out. If you've got a party Saturday morning, donuts and divas or muffins and makeovers, or you're working a vendor event on Saturday from 12 to 3, right? Then you could mark a little square and you put vendor event, so that you will look and see what you have going on. Now here's where it gets a little technical, but also a little fun. You can color code your sheet. So the first color is pink, and pink is anything that has to do with Mary Kay, but you're not making money. So this right now, training, is pink time. You're not making any money right now, but you're learning information that's going to help you with your business, right? Pink time could be unstocking your inventory when you get an order in. Pink could be maybe you're creating a flyer for an event that you're going to hold at your home, or a customer appreciation sale that you're working on, a postcard to mail, or something like that. Anything that you're doing with your Mary Kay that's not making you money right then is pink time. So training, if you're working on MKU on your computer, all of those things would be pink. Green, what do you think green stands for? Money. So green is going to be anything that you're doing that is going to make you money. So facials, party. Now remember the difference in the facials and party. A facial is 1 or 2 people, and a party is 3 or more, and they have to be 18 or older. So if you're doing a facial or party, obviously there's an opportunity for you to make money. It doesn't guarantee that you will, but the average party is about $300 right now across the nation. So if you're doing several parties, it should average out. Means they're not all going to be $300. Some could be less, some could be more. I've had parties that have been $0. That was great. But I met some new friends or some new team members. And I've had some parties that have been $1,300. So you just never know. But it does average out to be about $300 a party. You just have to do enough of them to get your average. So that would be green. Red is going to be sharing the opportunity. And we do that with red because you can win your red jacket. You can earn your red jacket. So sharing, doing a share, doing a coffee, bringing a guest to a meeting could be pink and red time. And green, because they have a chance to facial and buy product as well. So bringing a guest to a meeting is really full circle, because you have an opportunity, you're going to get trained, you could make money and get a new team member. So that's pretty smart to work it that way. So any shares is red. Your blue time is your spiritual time. So that's church activities, devotion, and I do it blue because I think about the heavens and the cloud and the sky being blue. So that's how I remember blue is for church activities, devotion, things like that. Yellow is your personal, and sometimes I put that in with the blue because I feel like devotions and things like that are kind of personal too. But this could include your workout, like if you go work out, if you run, if you do Zumba, those kinds of things. You want to have that in there. And then the last color, if you use yellow for personal, then the last color is purple, and that's family time. And so this would be time that you would, like if you did lunch every Sunday at your mother-in-law's house, or whatever, if you have date night once a week, or you've got to pick up your kids at 2 o'clock every day, and then that time between 2 and dinner is time with them, helping them with their homework or whatever, then you schedule that. But if you color code your sheet and you see that it's all pink and you're disappointed at the end of the week that you didn't make any money, you can see that you didn't have any green. You didn't have any opportunities. And I know because that's what I did. Like my first week or so, and I told Frank I was upset because I felt like I worked Mary Kay 24/7. I was thinking about it. I was unpacking stuff. I was making flyers. I was putting my inventory up. I didn't make any money. And he said, well, how many appointments did you hold? And I was like, oh, I didn't hold any. Well, there you go. So you're your own boss. You can be a great boss, but you also have to be a great worker. And this will help you do that. So if you make your plan sheet, now you're not supposed to fill it in as you go, ladies. This is plan sheet. This is your plan. So on Sunday night or Saturday night, I used to do it on Sunday afternoon or Sunday night, sit down and fill out your week, what appointments you already have booked, your weekly meeting, your church activities, your job, so that you can look and see where you have time to fit in those 2-hour time slots for Mary Kay. Does that make sense? So if you look and you don't see a lot of colors, if you just see one color or whatever, then you also can see that it's kind of unbalanced. Like if I was just having green, 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 pink, 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 and there was no family time on there, my family might get resentful. The other thing about this is this alleviates the guilt. Not that we as women ever feel guilty, right? But it alleviates the guilt. So I also remember when I was a brand new consultant, I was so excited when someone would say yes to hold an appointment that I would just do it whenever it was good for them. And then it was, oh, hey, Mom, we've got this tonight. And I was like, oh, I can't go. I've got an appointment. And then I was like, man, or hey, we're all going to go watch this movie. Oh, I can't go because I set this appointment. So I was disappointed and I got frustrated with Mary Kay. But it wasn't Mary Kay's fault. It was my fault because I'm the one that scheduled it. Does that make sense? So if you do this, then you have your family's activities on there first, and you know that, hey, this is the game night, or this is movie night, or whatever, so you're not going to schedule something during that time block. And then you don't ever have to worry about your family feeling left out, or your business feeling left out. The thing is, you don't want to be, I know some of you probably, if you haven't yet, at some point you're going to feel like when you're with your family, you're supposed to be doing something with Mary Kay. Or when you're doing something with Mary Kay, you feel like, oh, I should really be with my family. This plan sheet, you guys, is the cure for that. This is going to help to alleviate all that because you're going to have a scheduled time and a place for everything. And then it's peaceful and it's organized. And here's another little tip that I've learned over the years in Mary Kay is that work expands in the time that you give it. So if you say, for example, oh, I've got all day. I'm not working a job. I'm staying home all day. I'm going to book today. And I just say, hey, I'm going to book today, right? But then I don't set a scheduled time to book. I may get to the end of the day and go, oh man, like it's lunchtime. They're probably eating, you know, I'm not going to call them right now. Or now they're cooking dinner. They're picking up their kids. I'll wait till after dinner. Well, gosh, you know what? It might be late. Maybe they're bathing the baby or getting ready for bed. I'll just call them tomorrow. And the whole day goes by and I didn't book anything. So don't let that happen. Like give yourself a time frame, because then you're more likely to actually do the work if you make it like an appointment. Does that make sense? So just like if somebody was coming to your house and they said, you know, we're going to be there tomorrow, you'd probably spend all day long cleaning your house. But if somebody called you and said, hey, Elizabeth, I'm 20 minutes out from your house, I'm coming by. Somehow magically in 20 minutes, the house gets tidy. Right? So work is going to expand in the time you give it. So don't stretch something out. I find that I am most productive when I actually have more to do, where I feel like, ooh, I've got to squeeze this in, but I'm more likely to get it done because I'm more on purpose with my time than if I'm just, oh, I have all day willy-nilly and I can do whatever. Does that make sense? So I think that's a really good thing. Any questions on the weekly plan sheet? Just to repeat the colors one more time. Pink is anything you're doing in Mary Kay training-wise that's not making you any money. Green is money-making activities. So that's facials, that could be on the go, that could be parties, taking a reorder, delivering product, those are green. Red is sharing the opportunity. That's your interviews and your opportunity to earn that red jacket by building your team. We have blue is your spiritual time, so that's church activities, your personal devotion. Yellow is your personal, so that might be working out or reading or, you know, professional development for yourself. Whatever you do to fill your cup, you know, that could be running, whatever. And then you've got purple, which is your family time, and so that would be your family activities on there, so you can kind of see. I hope this helps you guys. I hope that if you have any questions, you can message me, call me, text me, Vox me, private message me on Facebook, do something. I'm here to help you. And I know if you use these two guidelines, the weekly plan sheet and the weekly accomplishment sheet, you are going to be one organized consultant making it happen. All right, Dream Believers, have a great night.